right, y'all, because get in here so we can talk about this part 3 of the Love and Marriage DC reunion. Shit get nasty about an episode, I'm going to tell you. Before we even jump into it, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, like the video, get down in these comments, even share the video if you want to, and let's go on ahead and get into it. Because, listen, it's just too much. We get started off on where we left off. This argument between Clifton and Scrappy Doo, okay? They on her going back and forth. And then we even find out what I think is interesting is that Jamie and Erana don't agree with Quick's approach and Quick threatening him, saying some stuff like, I promise you, if I had a problem with you, you wouldn't be able to move out here in these streets safely. While I don't really think that that's a threat, I agree with Jamie and Erana simply because, boy, you didn't do nothing. You got all this mouth for nothing, Quick. Ashley started all this stuff. You've been mad at the man for I don't know how long. Ashley want to keep yelling in the background. Y'all done seen each other many a times before, and ain't nobody had this energy. Well, your husband ain't had the energy either, because apparently ain't nothing cracked off. And your husband was the one going around saying that he was going to see Clifton. He had something to say to him because of how Clifton approached you. So I actually feel like the ball is in Quick's court. And I think it's quite funny how Clifton made him look like a fool on that stage. Got a rise out of him, got the side of his temple sweating, all kind of stuff. I think it was great. Because that's exactly how Ashley acts. And it is just furthermore a reflection on how they feed off of each other. Ugh, nasty work. Winner chases off after Ashley. Of course, Winner gonna chase after Ashley. She's so happy right now to be in Ashley's good graces. She really don't know what to do. Y'all, it's really sad. As I watch it every week, I'm just like, girl, if you don't stand up on your own too, okay, but she did. She fought hard and long to get in this girl's bosom. And now that she there, ain't nobody gonna turn her out. I don't care what y'all say. I really can't be mad at her. If that's how you want to rock, go ahead and rock that way. Now, after they cool everybody down and everybody get brought back on the stage, Carlos asks Joy. They take it all the way back to the beginning. Again. Once again. Like we need to go there. We all know the directions. We only got to put in the GPS no more. We know how this shit started. But anyway, Carlos asked why it is that Joy came to Ashley's Christmas party if they were still at odds. And she lets it be known that it was Erana. This is my problem with Erana. Like, if you know that these two girls are already into it and they already having turmoil and not getting along, why the hell would you call her and convince her to come to that girl Christmas party? Much like you convinced her to come to that house and you knew Ashley wasn't feeling her, and then had Joy sitting out in a car looking stupid for a damn hour. That is really ridiculous, you know? I think that Erana thinks that she has more influence on Ashley than she does, or that she has more influence just being older than she does. Because, girl, you cannot ever get this woman to do what the hell you want her to do. I don't care what it is. She ends up putting egg on your face. And then you have to go, well, let me go tell Joy that I ain't going to be able to do this. Ashley don't want to talk to her right now. And now look what happened. You done invited this girl over to this woman's house and you know they ain't even speaking. Joy ain't been here 2 minutes. Ashley make a beeline for her. And ask her why the hell she ain't speaking. Why is she at her house? Now, I can't get mad at Ashley for feeling like, Joy, how dare you come into her house and not speak. I can't. And I cannot say that Ashley is telling the truth or that Joy is lying when she says that she didn't see Ashley. I frankly believe that Joy seen Ashley and she had it in her mind that she was just going to come to that woman's house and not speak. And you dead ass wrong for that, Joy. I don't agree with Ashley on much this season, but I agree with her on that. I do think that you saw her, and I think that you knew that it was her house, regardless if you didn't see her or not. One of your first orders of business should have been to going over her and just letting her know that you came, and that you came with good intentions. You didn't come for no mess. You just came to have a good time, and then whatever came from it at that point would have came from it. But for you to just come in there and act like you didn't see her, which I do believe you did. You might not have, like you keep saying, but I agree with Ashley on this one. If you ask me, I feel like we all know who started this issue, but I am very glad that Erana finally said out of her mouth, in her face, that Ashley, I believe you started all this shit, okay? And if it wasn't for you starting all of this, then none of this would have really trickled down. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for you telling something, getting mad, getting upset and being a mean girl like you self-proclaim yourself to be and telling this girl business, none of this shit ever would have happened. You know what I mean? And it's about time that I think that Erana has been insinuating it for a long time, but she has never really opened up her mouth and actually said, Ashley, this shit is your fault. So really, everything else that trickled down after it was the consequences of you being a mean girl. I'm also proud of her for just finally speaking up and telling her that she's really upset with her because of how Ashley treated her at the Christmas party too when she went and checked on Joy. But it kind of makes sense now that she went and checked on Joy first, because she's the one that begged Joy to come and that convinced Joy to come. It didn't make sense at first because you look at it like, well, Ashley and Ashley and Erana were the friends first. And why did you go over and speak to Joy first? But after you heard Joy say out of her mouth and Erana say out of her mouth that Erana was the reason that Joy was even there, it makes sense. You know, you feel guilty. You like, damn, I invited this girl to come here and now all this shit done erupted. Let me go see if she's okay. Versus the girl who house you in that's surrounded by a bunch of people who you know is going to go check on her because it's her house. So people are naturally just going to flock to her. But this is the person you're responsible for bringing. You're responsible for inviting, rather. So, of course, you're going to want to go check on her, you know. I'm not saying it's right or wrong because, frankly, I do understand that it's Ashley's house and I understand how Ashley feels. I wouldn't have felt the same, but I do understand her feeling that way. In her house, she's entitled to feel however she wants to feel, you know. But I don't think that she should have just went clean off on Erana, especially after she found out that Erana was the main reason that Joy was even there around to your basement. Now, it's also making more sense why Jamie is feeling like Ashley's the one calling him an alcoholic, because it come out that I think it was one of Erana friends that Ashley told she don't mess with Jamie. And I think that that's crazy, seeing as how you the main one sitting around calling y'all family, especially when the whole situation went on with Lil Jamie and quit. You talking about y'all just like family and y'all should have been able to sit and talk anything out. But then why in the hell? I mean, I guess a whole lot of stuff have done transpire. But I still don't believe you should have been out here telling people that you don't mess with this man. And the season ain't even finished unfolding and shit for us to see yet. So you know stuff like that is going to get back. That's just how it happened. You know what I'm saying? You tell one person something. Case in point, Ashley, this assistant or whatever, who they say the girl is, living up in her house, telling all her business, going around telling people that Ashley be drunk all day and she's having to do everything for them children because Ashley be drunk. Baby, when I tell you this is getting uglier every day, they need to cut it off. Carlos, button up your DV and just go on and end it here because it's getting so nasty. Who is the woman that's round to your house, Ashley, taking care of your children and all this, and then she out here telling your business and you trying to make justifications for what's up? What, let Jamie talk about y'all? No, baby, ain't nobody ever told that Erana was round to the house too drunk to where she couldn't pay nobody, to where she couldn't get the kids where they supposed to go. And you love for us to think that you this single mom, this stay-at-home mom, the one that have to do everything for the kids because Quick ain't never home. Like, what's really going on? Because I need to know. Then go try to holler about. The only reason you feel like Erana bought that out was because she got something to prove. You damn right Erana got something to prove on the show. I mean, of course she does. She's looked at as to be the one that's been underneath your wing, your little wingman since the beginning, since season 1. So I definitely believe that she's tired of being looked at as that. And yeah, she's feeling like at this point, you play dirty all the time, I'm going to start playing dirty too. And I really cannot blame Erana for that. And then I was proud of Erana when she stood up and said that she feels like Ashley's jealous. And it's just like I said, nobody is saying Ashley's jealous look-wise. Ashley is jealous because she seems like miserable at home. Quick is never home. She's up here crying for attention. And I'm not even making no dig at her. I'm really not. I'm saying that's what she's doing. She's just basically detailing how it is that in her marriage, she's very lonely. She feels very alone. And Quick don't hear nothing that she's saying. It goes in one ear and out the other with him. That is what people feel like you're jealous about. Because when it comes to other couples showing up and hanging out, like Erana said, you the only one to be coming by yourself a lot of the time. Or else when Quick does come with you, he got to leave early. So you still the one left out looking silly. That is something that you're jealous about. And I feel like that's the reason why you make a bunch of statements and stuff talking about like, how you're going to hang with your besties and your best friends and blah, blah, blah. That is a sign of jealousy. Ain't no grown woman I know, when somebody say they're going to hang out with another group of friends, you got to be like, oh, your best friends. Like, why are you doing that? That is jealousy, baby. Look it up. Study it. You think you know everything. You don't, baby. Now, they wrote a package on Joy and Ashley throughout the season and how it came to be. The clip actually shows that when Clifton and Quick sat down, Quick was the one that said the word jealous and introduced the word jealous to the conversation. Clifton said, like, I don't know if she feel, I just don't know what kind of way she feel, like if she feels he might have said intimidated. I think he might have said that, but he never said jealous. Quick is the one that said jealous and took that back to his wife. And then his wife took off with it and went on they think I'm jealous hate train. And it's like both of y'all get each other so fucking worked up, it's not even funny. And then neither one of y'all know how to calm each other down once y'all get to that point. And then before you know it, you done ruined a friendship, a relationship, all kind of ships done sailed and sunk. And y'all still hot. Y'all the only two that's still up her hot. Well, besides Winter, bobblehead ass chasing behind Ashley. But y'all the only ones that's mad. Everybody else is getting, well... I was finna say everybody else is getting along besides Sherelle and Black, but we're going to get to them in a minute too. Now, Ashley calls Joy a flip-flopper. And let me say this. Y'all might think, I'm flip-flopping. But I'm not. Y'all got to follow me. I do not agree with a lot of Ashley ways. I do not like a lot of the shit Ashley do. But when Ashley tell the truth, when anybody tell the truth, I'm going to rock with you. Now, I do think Joy is a flip-flopper because I don't understand why Joy kept on trying to make these pretend makeups with Ashley over and over again. And she knew the whole time that she really didn't want to be her friend no more after Ashley had spilled the tea. I feel like Joy had it made up in her mind that Ashley just wasn't her cup of tea friend-wise. And she didn't really want to deal with her. But I think that she was trying to force herself because of the show. And then it came to a point where she just couldn't do that no more. And she had to just be like, look, I just don't even want to do this whole thing no more anyway. We just ain't each other's, we ain't in each other's league friend-wise. And that does make you look like a flip-flopper, Joy. Whereas if you would have just stood on what you thought from ground zero and just been like, well, Ashley, you know what? I really don't rock with chicks like that. I understand you apologize. I appreciate you apologizing and I forgive you. Or I don't forgive you, whichever one you chose. Just let her know up front and just be like, but we just probably ain't gonna never be friends because I don't rock with chicks like you. I think that would have made more of a statement on Ashley and crunched her face more than you keep on acting like you're being this big woman by sitting down having all these conversations with her, because all that did make you look like is that you don't know what you want and that you flip-flopping, okay? Like you want to be her friend, but at the same time, you got to stand on business and be mad at her. And if that's the case, I understand that, baby. I really do, trust me. But just let her know that. Ashley also say that her and Quick say that they never invited Joy and Clifton to the game. And I'm confused because I could have swore I seen a scene. And if I find the clip, I'm going to put it in there. But I seen the scene where they was sitting, they had took them children somewhere. And they were sitting in like a gymnasium or something like that. And Quick said that he wanted to invite Clifton and Joy. Ashley rolled her eyes, but she didn't say don't invite them. And so he went with it. And otherwise, why would they have been there? I don't understand this either. Because then Quick tried to say, well, if they hadn't came, then that whole moment deterred the whole second half of the season. I don't think that's true either. Your wife and her attitude, Joy and her attitude, everybody and their attitudes is what deterred the rest of the season, okay? We're not going to forget that whether y'all had have invited them to the game or not, Ashley had already made the mistake that she made in telling the girl business. So she still had a problem with Ashley going in. Now, had y'all been telling people on the back end, maybe telling production that y'all didn't want them to come to the game, that might be what was going on. But I also don't agree with that either, because I hate when y'all come on these ensemble shows and y'all act like, well, we gonna throw this, and we not gonna invite them though. We not gonna invite them. Like, why? They're part of the cast. And not only are they part of the cast, this is a situation that you initiated. You started this stuff. And what I am happy to see is Clifton taking some responsibility as well for their big old blow up around to the stadium. And he said that, yeah, he was antagonizing Ashley when she charged him. But to be honest, what else could he do? Like, if he had have yelled back at her as she was in his face, then that would have been a problem. If he would have, you know what I'm saying? If he would have got smart with her, then she would have really been talking about how sassy he is. That wouldn't have been a problem. I mean, he chose to take the funny route and antagonize her. And in hope, I don't even feel like it was really to try to piss her off. I think it was more in hopes of trying to just, Ashley, girl, what are you doing? You know, like snap her back in, because Ashley she had really went too far. At that point, she was so far gone, and you really couldn't bring her back. It just ended up bad. But I kudos to him for being a man and going ahead and taking some accountability. Now, they bring out Yusha. This part, y'all, I'm going to tell y'all, this shit threw me before I left. When Yusha came out and went and got up around to the couch and acted like she didn't even want to sit next to the man, and went squares her ass in between Ashley and Quick, I'm sitting here like, really? Is it that serious, Winter, to where you can't even sit by the man? But let's go on ahead and dive into this. And before we even get into it, let's not forget she pulled out props. She pulled out the little sand, the time sand. What do you call it? The little time sand thing. Hourglass. That's what she pulled out. She pulled out an hourglass timer. She pulled out a nail file, and all this just to listen to this man, or just to be theatric, or like I think, just to be more Ashley-like. But anyway, because y'all see she had props too, but hell, wait a minute, Erana had a prop too, so let me quit. But anyway, she starts talking about how her feelings turned toward Yusha when she said, I love you, and he told her, thank you, stand on that. And I just feel like you didn't display that on the show, though. That's why I commend Carlos for asking her the question of, did you not use Yusha as well? Because it seemed like you used him for a dating storyline, just like he used you, if that's what you're saying. And I honestly don't even know if I believe that Yusha necessarily used her. However, I do think that, like Sherelle said, he liked Winter, but him being on the show and him getting access to promote his brand didn't hurt. And he wasn't going to pass up no opportunity to do that. Yusha, was you doing too much? If you threw a hissy fit because your socks couldn't go in the cast gift box, yes, you absolutely was. Because ultimately, your shit hadn't been introduced yet. You are not even like a friend of the cast. You just on here because you dating Winter. So yes, it wasn't been much if you was out here really throwing hissy fits and stuff just because they wouldn't promote your stuff, or because you had to go through Winter and you knew what it would look like, but you still brought the conversation up. You know, and for those purposes, I can't get mad at Winter because she does feel like you used her. The only thing that rubs me the wrong way with Winter is because I just feel like everything she is doing is theatrics as well. I feel like Winter probably didn't even have no desire to even be with this man either, just by the way that she was acting. For you to go off and marry an old ass man that was living in his mama basement, but then this man come along that, you know, got his own stuff going on. He handsome. He treating you well. And you was basically, in my opinion, treating him like you really didn't care. Like, you know, the sex thing ain't too much of a big deal, because I understand they both made that decision that they didn't want to have sex until they got into an exclusive relationship. But like, even that, like, it just gave me that you really didn't care about really being with Yusha. Okay. So I agree that both of y'all used each other for whatever was going to come out of it. And I think that on Yusha's end, I think that if a relationship had came out of it, cool. But I don't think that you was really looking for a serious relationship, especially when you gonna holler you had somebody else that you would have preferred to bring on there, because then why in the hell did you bring them on there? That's crazy. And why in the hell would you have a storyline with a motherfucking man that you don't even think you like that, and you have one on your tail that you know you like? See, that's how y'all be saying stuff like that to just let us know y'all full of shit. Something else that come to light on this part. Very interesting. We find out that Yusha auditioned for Ready to Love. Now, this right here makes all the sense in the world why Winter got so upset when Yusha was taken up for Joy. He was literally using a logical standpoint to say, well, maybe Joy wasn't ready to have this conversation when y'all bombarded her with that damn therapist at the cabin. This is why you felt so upset and had so much stress up in your chest. And see, this is why you and Ashley are starting to get along really well. You two are the two jealous petty sisters, huh? I'm just playing, but no, I'm not. Because it makes you look like you are definitely bothered by Winter and everything he said or anything he mentioned. And then it's like you kind of taking it out on Winter because that girl didn't even know that Carlos asked Winter or Clifton, did they even know that the man auditioned? And they both said no. So they didn't have nothing to do with it. But you, because of Yusha taking up for her and saying that, yeah, like he apologized on, or he told Winter he felt her or whatever, you got all upset panties all in a bunch. Diaper booty. All in a bunch. It makes perfect sense, okay? Like, don't take that kind of stuff out on Joy, because I feel like Joy didn't have nothing to do with that. But again, it brings it all full circle. And this is what I'm talking about too when I said earlier that I didn't like the Sherelle girl. It's just something about her that I do not like. You introduced this man to Winter, and now you're going to sit up here and call him a hustler. Say ever since you knew him, you knew he'd been basically like an opportunist. I think she flat out called the man an opportunist, but you thought he was a good match for a friend of yours. Girl, I'm foul. I'm calling foul on you. Don't piss me off, Sherelle. You done already did it. And this is where we stop off on this one. Y'all make sure y'all get down in these comments and let me know that y'all watch part 3. What do y'all feel about this? And how do y'all feel? I want to know how y'all feel about the whole Winter and Yusha situation. Do y'all think that he's an opportunist and that he used Winter? Or do y'all think that he actually did kind of like her and then just circumstances got in the way where he had to choose whether or not, you know what I'm saying, he was going to choose his livelihood or he was going to be in love. And he said, fuck love, honey, what that money do? But y'all go on and get a conversation started with me down here in these comments. Y'all know I love to cut up with y'all every single time. And y'all know I'm going to be back on the next